I am Grandpa Gary, and I just got here, and today I have a brand new E-flite Night Radian that I'm going to do the maiden flight on. I put it together while the battery was charging. It took 2 screws and I think 4 pieces of tape, and that was it. It was so easy. You plug in a couple lights because it is the Night Radian. There are LEDs throughout this airplane that's got multiple different functions for the lights. I did set it for red, and it's so bright we're probably not going to see them. In fact, I might not even turn the switch on. We'll see, but I want to get this thing up in the air and make sure it flies okay. Let's do it. All right, guys, the lights are on, and we're going to launch this thing up into the air. I do have safe turned off, and we're just going to kind of point it up, give it some juice. This thing does not have ailerons, so we're going to control it with the elevator and the rudder. The way the wingtips are curled up is what's going to keep this thing nice and level. The wind is coming out of the southwest, so we're going to chuck this at the parking lot. We'll just kind of throw it that way, but we're going to throw it up, actually, right at my truck. Let's back up just a little bit farther. And if it starts looking out of shape, I'll turn the power off almost immediately. Feels good right this angle. And you want to start that throttle real slow to let the prop straighten out. And then you'll give it some juice to get it some power. And woo, it took straight up. So let's bring it on around. And we do have a little bit of wind, so it should like that and have fun with it. Letting the power come down on the throttle, because this is a sailplane. I shouldn't need to run throttle all the time, but we're not going to get very high. I want to keep it down here where you guys can see it, and so I can know what I'm doing too. This only the second time that I've flown a decent sized sailplane. The other, I've flown Chenzoff. A friend of mine, Dasherly Dave, let me fly that. I did not fly it on the channel, but this airplane belongs to a guy from the Wingmasters Club. His name's Elijah, and he's the one that invited me down there a couple times, and he sent this home in the brand new box and said, put it together, fly it on the channel. So that's what we're doing. And I haven't done anything with the rates or anything. This is 100% rates, no expo or anything. Just I bound it up, and in fact, there was no bind and fly model in my radio memories or whatever for the Night Radian, so I set it up as a brand new model, and this is exactly how it came out. We're going to give it a little bit of down trim because it is climbing like crazy all the time. I've been pushing down on the elevator just to keep the flight going. Up there it's feeling a lot better. Should make the landing a little easier. Or I would have kept flying it if I wasn't worried about the landing. Let's take it on down this way a little bit, and we'll bring it back around. Kind of cross the wind here. It's got a lot more control than I thought it would with just the elevator and rudder. Kind of impressed. I'm not sure exactly what kind of performance you're supposed to expect out of an airplane like this, if it's supposed to be able to do a loop or anything, but I did see a couple guys at the Horizon Hobby event put I think a 90 millimeter fan on one of these, like a ducted fan, and they got the wings to fold. They were really rough on it. We're not looking to do that today. So we're not going to try a loop or especially not try any rolls without any ailerons, but you can see that when I kick that rudder, it leans pretty quick. Very responsive. And what we're gonna do here, you can see this is just sailing now, and there's enough wind that it's lifting. So we're gonna take it up just maybe twice as high as I've been flying it, and we're gonna throw the throttle off. Yeah, right about there. And let's see what we can do with this wind. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'm not doing a good job here, so let's get it turned with the wind and bring it back into the wind. So it's got a little bit of speed. I think I had it stalled out completely, and that's why it wasn't riding the wind too good. Like I said, this is only the very second time I've ever flown a sailplane, and it does look like if you stall it, it doesn't like roll over or nothing because it has that huge wing, but it just starts sliding down, elevatoring down, as I think they might say. There, I'm pushing the nose down to let it build some speed. And you don't want to do that when you try to land. Ooh. I'm moving a little bit. I don't know if I was standing on an anthill or what. Maybe some fire ants. Something to eat my legs up. Goodness. But you don't want to do this and try to land because it'll just keep on going. Luckily, we do have just a little bit of wind, and I'll be able to slow it down pretty good for the landing. When there's no wind, actually it'll glide for a long ways, I'm sure. Here we're trying to hold it nice and straight. You can see how graceful that's coming in, but you can see it went way too far, and now I got to climb up a little bit to get downwind. Sorry about that. Here we go. This looks like a good spot to try and... Now I'm gonna hold the nose up just a little bit and let it bleed off some speed. Here we go, nose up again. You can see it kind of almost a porpoise. I'm just trying to get it to slow down, but there's so much wind now it's giving it lift. So this ain't working out quite the way I planned on. And now it was gonna stall, actually roll stall. So let's try it one more time. The crescendo you bring in a little more hot, and so it was almost felt like it was easier. Now I got a lot more room, but I'm getting farther away, so let's take it down here to this, the opposite corner of that direction. There we go. Let's bring it in from this way. Maybe it'll come to me. Give it a bunch of up elevator. Oh, that's probably bad news right there. Oh. Well, I think it was going slow enough that it didn't hurt it. I hope. Hate to have to buy Elijah a new airplane, because these are on back order. One of the things when you're flying somebody else's airplane, you're always worried about having a bad landing, or especially when it's a type of airplane that you're not used to flying. I can hear the bugs a-buzzing. That's probably what I was feeling. So the canopy flew off and it broke the prop. So we're not putting it back in the air, but canopy looks okay. Just popped off. But I see the prop laying here, and it doesn't look like there's any fixing or replacing or putting it back on. It's broke. So we'll have to get a new blades for that. But for the most part, it looks like it's okay. Just a little bit of dirt here. up in the spinner. And that blade looks like it might be okay, but if they come in sets, I'll replace both before I give this back to them. Just like that. So, not every Maiden goes the way you want it to go, but it was fun to fly around, and of course you fly it up higher and you don't have that problem. But after a couple flights, I'm sure I would get the hang of where I need to make my approach from. And you definitely don't pull full back and let it try to bleed off speed by doing that. Don't do that. Learn from my mistake. And I've not watched much videos on the Night Radian, so I had no idea exactly what to expect. But obviously you don't do that. And so I'll get new blades or props. I don't know. It's 2 blades, and I'll get both of those and switch it out, and hopefully we'll get another video out for you guys soon. And yeah, big thanks to Elijah for letting me do an experiment and fly a sailplane. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. I appreciate all the Patreons and the members to the channel. You guys are awesome. It's this type of thing that keeps my channel going. You guys is the followers, your guys' support is what really does it. I really appreciate it so much. And big thanks to the Lord for a nice, beautiful day. It started out pretty gloomy with rain and stuff, but it's pretty nice now. And until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.